All right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for taking the time out on a weekday evening to attend the deep dive call of GetSupp. Uh, I think some of us attended the pitch on Sunday, and some new folks are also joining this call who are not free on Sunday. Irrespective, the recording has already been shared with everyone right on Sunday itself. So yeah, I'll invite Arpit and Deven to come over and unmute and speak. Just give me a minute. Yeah, we have the founders, Arpit and Devin of GetSupp here. Yeah, Arpit, you can take over.
Thanks everyone for joining. Thank you, Rohan, for organizing this. Would love to take you through what Devin and I are building at GetSupp, and then would open up for question and answers accordingly. Yeah, I'll also share my screen to get started. Rohan, can you please allow screen share?
Yeah, done.
Yeah. So guys, I'll get started. So thanks, Rohan. Thanks for arranging this, and thanks everyone for taking the time out to attend our pitch and hearing us out and about GetSupp as well. So hi, I'm Devin. I am a co-founder at GetSupp, and I look after product and engineering here. I have around 14 years of experience building, leading, and scaling engineering teams, and both Arpit and I have known each other and have worked with each other for about 8 years now. Uh, through our contributions, both Arpit and I have been working actively in the healthcare space for collectively for more than 14 years now. And through our contributions at Practo, My Daily, and now at GetSupp, we have already helped lakhs of users improve their health and well-being. Both of us believe that personal well-being should be every individual's first priority, and we also sort of understand that increased stress, distractions, and difficult lifestyles make this almost impossible for quite a few people to achieve this. This is why we have made it our mission to help every Indian live a healthier, happier life in the easiest way possible, which is through health supplements. So before I talk about GetSupp and how we actually help users in their health supplement journey, let's take a brief look at the health landscape of India. So our overall health has been declining rapidly. India was already the diabetes capital of the world and is currently being dubbed as the cancer capital. What is happening is that there has been a very substantial rise in NCDs, non-communicable diseases. So, for example, if you actually take a look, right, NCDs such as blood sugar, stress, anxiety, diabetes, poor skin health, hair fall, obesity, all of these are rapidly increasing. So, why is this really happening and why is this happening now, right? We all somewhat have an inkling of the idea to why it's happening, but still we're taking a look at it again. Easy access to junk food, coupled with the lack of time and the high effort required to actually cook healthy meals, have destroyed our eating habits and have destroyed our nutrition. Excessive and late night screen time is being touted as the global cause for issues such as sleep and anxiety. And excessive indulgence in smoking and drinking, including factors not in our control, such as decreasing air quality and pollution, are the key culprits here as well. Not just that, increased stress and anxiety have been are known as the biggest underlying cause for most of these health concerns. So, what do we do, right? How do we actually tackle this problem? How can we improve our health and well being? So, first, of course, we can improve our eating habits. This means that taking the time out and putting an effort to actually research and cook healthy meals. Now, this is really difficult as most people don't have the luxury of time for this, nor does anyone really want to put in this kind of effort. Second, we could, of course, improve our habits. We could improve our lifestyle, right? This would mean reducing our screen time, meditating, exercising, and actually introducing some level of discipline into our life. But this is even more difficult than healthy cooking, and it's nearly impossible to get someone to change their habits. And this is where health supplements really help a user become healthy. Health supplements offer an easy, efficient, and effective way to objectively improve your diet and your overall health along with it. Health supplements are a great way to supplement, of course, supplement your nutrition and improve your overall health. So if health supplements are so good, right, if they are so easy and effective to use, then what's the problem, right? Why isn't everyone we know already popping a pill, and why isn't everyone really getting healthy? The problem here, right, is that all the health supplements are easy to use. It's actually a fairly complicated landscape, and it's very difficult for a layman, for an average Indian, to identify which health supplement works for them and how exactly to use it to see results. It's very difficult for them to set expectations for that health supplement. So every individual is unique. People, like, the dietary habits are different, their age is different, gender is different, location also plays a very key factor in deciding which supplement can actually work for you. To give an example, right, let's take a look at these three users. The 48-year-old man actually has a hair fall problem, but for him, collagen is a primary supplement because his actual collagen levels are reducing with age. Saw palmetto can help him reduce and block the DHT hormone, and vitamin D will help with age-induced alopecia. For the woman who's suffering from hair fall right now, she is vegetarian and she's pregnant. So the kind of supplements she needs are very different, and they are primarily iron, zinc, and folic acid. These are essential and are in short supply during pregnancy, and are the primary cause of hair fall during the pregnancy period. For the last male who's 34 years old, vegetarian, and has a low activity rate, for him, collagen and biotin will definitely help, but one essential vitamin which he needs to take is vitamin E, because it can help reduce oxidative stress, which is one of the biggest causes of hair fall in men between the age of 28 to 45. And by adding vitamin E, we have seen several of our users improve their hair fall within a few months itself. So these unique needs make buying and using health supplements really confusing and daunting. And because of this, people have a lot of questions before and after their purchase. Before the purchase, people have questions around which supplement to buy. Are there any side effects? What are the long-term health benefits? When do I actually start seeing results? Is this an authentic product? Is this a safe product? And if the supplement is actually work for me or not? And after the purchase, the questions are almost always around how to use these supplements, what should be the dosage, and when and how soon can I actually see results? So users have questions, they need guidance, but current platforms such as Amazon are just not able to help them. Their primary categories are electronics and large appliances. That is where the money is for them. And for them, health supplements is just another category. They are not equipped to solve any of the problems I mentioned earlier, or answer any of the questions I talked about earlier either. So users today need a trusted source for health supplements. So for example, Amazon today is not at all concern driven. And India is completely concern driven. For every one user who searches for biotin for hair fall, right, we have more than 10,000 users who will search for how do I reduce my hair fall. That's how users search. More than 5% of all Google searches in India are health related, and people search by their concerns like how do I reduce my hair fall, how do I reduce my acidity, how can I reduce my pigmentation. So that's where they start with, and then from there they need to understand which health supplement, that whether a health supplement exists and which health supplement should I actually use. And Amazon is not fit to address these questions. Second, in India, health is an assisted journey. People need assistance, right? You're not buying a pen or a pencil or a mobile phone, also, which people know pretty well how to use today. You're buying a health supplement. And you could be buying a health supplement for any one of the 200, 300 health concerns which exist. So you need to understand, you need someone to set the expectations for you that, hey, you know what, Devin, this is how you will see results in the first 4 weeks, in the next 8 weeks. And this is how you have to use them, and this is what you need to use along with your health supplement. But there is no such assistance being provided to any of the users buying from Amazon, which is why Amazon sees a very, very poor retention in this category. And we know this because we talk to D2C brands and they tell us how difficult it is to understand the repeat and understand the retention. They have to keep advertising again and again. The third and one of the biggest problems on Amazon is, of course, fake sellers and fake products. Guys, so let me tell you, it's how easy it is to start selling on Amazon, right? There is no curation and safety standard whatsoever. All it takes is 7,000 rupees to get a FSSAI certificate delivered right to your email. You need a GST certificate, of course, and you can start crushing chalk powder and start selling it as calcium powder. Now, this might seem a bit dramatic, but I'm actually speaking the truth. You just need to package it and you need to sell it, and that's how easy it is to scam people on Amazon. So people today need a trusted source for their health supplements, and they need someone to guide them and answer their queries. And this is where GetSupp comes in. GetSupp is India's trusted health supplement marketplace, and we are the only ones who are helping users through their end-to-end health supplement journey through AI-powered expert guidance. In order to help people find the right health supplement for their needs, we have created Apeksha, our own in-house AI nutritionist. Apeksha is able to chat with users, understand their health concerns, figure out their lifestyle, figure out where the user actually comes from, and empathetically chat with them and actually recommend the right supplements to use for their health concern. So this is just a quick demo of what the actual chat looks like. So in a conversational format, Apeksha will talk to you, try to get you to answer a few questions about your lifestyle, about your eating habits, dietary habits, eating habits, activity levels, any coexisting health concerns which you need help with, and accordingly recommend a supplement. Once the supplement is recommended, you can cross question with Apeksha. You can ask her, why did you recommend the supplement to me? How soon will I see results with the supplement? Has anyone else seen results with the supplement? Are there any side effects? Apeksha has been designed to handle any of these queries seamlessly. And then, of course, she can push you towards a conversion-based intent as well. Last month, more than 40% of all of our sales actually came through Apeksha, our chatbot. Second, at GetSupp, we take a user safety and authenticity as a number one priority. We only deal directly with brands or authorized sellers which the brand has provided us with. We deliver the products directly from the brand to the user to make sure that they receive a genuine product. And second, we have been able to crack contractual obligations with several of our brands to make sure that our users always receive the most recently manufactured batch of products. In fact, one of the features you will very soon see on GetSupp within the next 2 months is the batch number and the expiry date of the product which you're about to receive on the product page itself. Not just that, we are also procuring brand certificates to help users understand the kind of partnership we have with each and every individual brand. Third and the most important part, right? And this, if you ask me, this is the heart of GetSupp. It is how we solve for results and how we solve for trust. We do not sell and forget. Every user who purchases a health supplement on GetSupp gets connected to our AI experts, and our AI expert help them for the next 30 to 90 days. And we show them how to use the product, give them personalized recommendations around usage and dosage, and we actually are available 24/7 to answer any question that they might have about their health supplements. This engagement, right? This meaningful engagement, this back and forth between the user has led to an increased level of trust and has led to industry highest 9-month retention of 68%. Now, guidance is important, right? And we are offering it at every step. So how are we doing this? To give you an example, let's actually take a look at the graph. In January, we had around 200 users and we had 4 experts who were helping these 200 users. This April, we helped 20,000 users improve their health and well-being, and we did it with the same 4 experts. This is the power of using AI in a meaningful fashion across the user's journey. Not only are we infinitely scalable vertically across a larger number of users, we are also infinitely scalable horizontally across a large number of health supplement categories. For example, when we started, we were doing only skin and hair and stress and sleep, but now we are handling more than 140 health concerns through our AI experts.
Awesome. Hi. Yes. So we realize and we establish that nutrition supplements are on rise. The usage, the penetration is increasing. If you look at the market, the Indian nutraceutical market has already doubled from $3.2 billion to $6.2 billion in last 5 years, and is further expected to triple in next 6 years. This growth or 3x growth will be actually be driven by more than 20 crore Indian users, which will be buying supplement for the first time in their life. And that's what this whole problem statements are around. If you look at this growth, right, to put this growth in context, beauty category has seen a very similar 5.8 to $17 million growth in a decade. What happened to BPC in 10 years is actually happening to nutraceutical in next 5-6 years. That's how massive this opportunity at hand is. Over the last few years in India, we have seen wherever there is a larger category which has its own core problem and nuances, a marketplace or a platform play has come and taken a chunk of it. For real estate, we have seen No Broker. For home related services, there's UC. Food and grocery has Swiggy and Zomato. Beauty and personal care has Nykaa. Similarly, there is First Cry, Myntra, and many more. Health and wellness, we believe, will be an $18 billion opportunity. It has its own core problem, that we discussed in detail that none of the platforms are actually solving for. GetSupp is in the right time and has the right solves to become that go-to platform and take this chunk of this market. Interestingly, we have folks from NoBroker, all the three founders, Saurabh, Amit, and Akhil, and current CEO of Swiggy, Rohit Kapoor, were part of our last round as well. We spent considerable time with Saurabh and Rohit to understand how to start solving with a core use case and then keep on scaling across category. Now, to build a successful platform play, there are three things. We need three things in place. First is the demand side. That means as a user, as a platform, am I able to acquire millions of users at scale at low cost of acquisition or not? Second, the users that I'm acquiring, are they sticking with you? That means, are they coming back on the platform and transacting or not? And third is the margin structure. Is it good enough today? Is it further capable to grow and bring profitability in the long run or not? In the last 15 months of our operations, we have done a phenomenal job across all of these three aspects, which we'll quickly discuss in the next three slides. The first is the acquisition. Now, GetSupp has scaled from 5 lakh rupees GMV last January when we started to 1 crore this May. While we have grown, we have actually become super efficient. Our cost of acquisition has dropped from 1200 rupees when we started to 230 last April, and right now it's at around 215 rupees. This has been possible by two major strategies. First is the unique, scalable, and cost-effective GTM, where we use our AI chatbot Apeksha to acquire users at scale. Now, how do we do that? Right? As Devin briefly mentioned, India is a very concern-driven market. For top 5 categories in India, there are more than 75 million health searches. Out of those, 99.8% are actually research or informational searches. This is where users start their journey from. So our chatbot caters to these kind of queries. It asks questions, collect information, set the context, and then recommend them a product on the chat itself. Essentially moving users from a research phase to a transactional phase in a convenient medium such as chat while building trust. The second is our organic or SEO. Now, both Devin and I led SEO efforts at Tracto while we were handling growth over there. So we have extensive experience in those. We have set a solid foundation for GetSupp's SEO in last few months, and it is now yielding us amazing results. Our organic traffic is doubling every 4 months as of today and is right now contributing to nearly 18% top of the funnel. Both of these have helped us reduce our CAC drastically. Second is the user retention. Now we have industry highest 9-month user retention of 68%. That means more than 2/3 of the people are coming back on the platform and transacting within a 9-month period. Even Amazon, Flipkart have retentions around 54 to 58% with thousands of categories. We are doing better than those with just a vertical approach. Now, how we have been able to do this, right? The key to this is the post-purchase personalized guidance that we provide. This helps user improve usage, adherence, and results, and build a very solid amount of trust on our AI experts. This also opens our system to a lot of information and data about the user. For example, their medical history, lifestyle, other concerns, and etc. We use this to very meaningfully cross-sell and upsell within first 15 days. And if you take a step back, right, it's very intuitive because nutrition works like a spectrum. That means there is no one supplement that will give you all kind of results. It has to be a combination of things that will help you move closer to your health goals. The second is over last 8 to 9 months, we have realized how users are actually maturing after their primary category. And we realize that they move across categories to secondary concerns, or they move to a daily wellness or a preventive use case such as daily vitamins, multivitamins. Our AI takes both of these behavior into consideration and nudge the user in the right manner and the right time, making sure that they stick with us. This is only possible when one, you have enough information and data about the user. Second, you have built enough trust. And third, you have enough liquidity or supply side depth on the platform, which you can, and that's why you are able to match user to the next purchase. And hence platform play is a long-term winner in this category. The last is the margin structure. We have been able to increase our take rate from 27 to 36% already. This is 2x that of Flipkart and Amazon. And we further believe this will solidify around 48% in next 4 years. Here's a very quick look at the long-term plan. We will be a $500 million GMV company in next 5 years. And as per the multiples that Nykaa and Mamaearth had got, we should be valued at $2 billion. To make this happen, there are few major milestones. First and foremost is to get the marketplace model right. That means adding more categories, improving AI systems, pre and post purchase, and launching GetSupp app. All of this is expected to bump our repeat and LTVs by at least 40 to 45%. Then there will be a huge private label play. And this is very interesting because we are the only platform in this category that has end-to-end data. That means I know what is selling. I also know what is working well. So I am in a much better situation to create much powerful formulations, and then plug them seamlessly wherever there is a supply side gap. Third, there will be a huge partnership play. Now, in this category, there is a third stakeholder, which are more than 3.5 lakh functional experts. These could be dietitian, nutritionist, physiotherapist, gym trainers, etc. They reach out to nearly 10 million Indian users right now. All of those have supplement needs. GetSupp come up as an authentic and genuine supply side, and we could plug in our supply to their demand and then reach out to nearly 10 million Indian users. The last bit is the offline. Now, we have seen a phenomenal offline play where aggregators such as Sephora and Nykaa have come up for BPC category in even tier 2 cities. We expect a similar play once the awareness grow in the Nutra category. GetSupp is confident that we'll be able to replicate our expert-led model in a capital efficient way offline and take a chunk of that $18 billion market out there. That's a very quick snapshot on the long-term plan. Here's a very quick summary. We are a curated platform. We have right now more than 250 plus brand and 7,500 SKUs. We are growing nearly 15 to 18% month on month, and right now are at a GMV of 1 crore per month or 12 crore a year. We have very solid metrics in terms of our retention and take rate. And as per the round, we are raising $2 to $2.2 million round. These are the round details. We are raising $2 to $2.5 million round, out of which 1.5 is already subscribed. This 2 to 2.2 will help us reach scale to $6 to $7 million GMV run rate and $2.5 to $3 million revenue run rate, and then raise a very meaningful Series A of $6 to $8 million. Out of this, 1.5 is already subscribed, and this is at a pre-money of $8 million. This was our last round construct. We raised a $1.2 million round in August 2022, nearly 20 months ago. This was led by General Catalyst. GC is globally one of the largest healthcare investors, and Better Capital is one of the leading pre-seed VCs. Also, a host of strategic angels participated. Saurabh from No Broker, Rohit from Swiggy, Ankit from CureFit, Dhruv from Orange Health, and many more. Here, the last bit is around the team. Devin and I, you have already met. Both of us have 13, 14 years of individual experience across top internet organizations. This is our second startup together. We also have two very solid members in terms of founding team. Mohammad Akhtar is a batchmate of mine from IIT Guwahati, more than 13 years in scaling global ops in countries such as China and Uruguay. And Mohit, who is IIT Kharagpur graduate, more than 13 years dedicatedly in performance marketing for consumer businesses. Most notably, he has been part of two unicorns from $0 to $1 billion. One was No Broker from 15 to 21, and another was ClickUp from 21 to 23. At both of these places, he handled end-to-end performance marketing. Guys, that's a bit around pitch and GetSupp. Would love to open for question and answers now.
Cool. Thanks, Devin and Arpit, for the great pitch. We see that a host of CXOs and important good angels are there, and obviously, like couple of top funds which are known for the space, General Catalyst and Better, along with the number one angel network. We found the circle is also there. So yeah, we are open for questions now. Anyone who wants to speak, I'll actually change the permission to allow people to unmute themselves, but if we can do it one by one, you can unmute and speak, or you prefer asking in the chat, feel free to ask in the chat as well. So yeah, we are now open for questions. Murata is asking, is it Indian version of iHerb?
Yes, iHerb is one of the largest health stores across globe, specifically in US and Southeast Asia. We have been following iHerb since a while. It's a great analogy of how a similar market and a player exists in other geographies. We do believe, though, that Indian user is pretty unique, and hence the problems or the nuances that they face are unique. So rather than just an online store for supplement category, we believe it's much more than that. And that's what we kind of tried to explain in the first half of the deck around the problems existing and our solves and how they're working really well. So,
Virender is asking current shareholding pattern of founders and top 10 shareholders.
sure. So as I told you, these are the investors in the last round. In the last round, we diluted around 24% overall. The rest, we have already carved out a 12% ESOP pool in our last round, and nearly 58% is owned by founders, which is Devin and I, and we are split equally.
Hope that clarifies, Virender. Subhash is asking, on your website, I see you are offering big discounts on the supplements. Will this affect your margins going forward?
Yes. So Subhash, yes, we do have sale events running where either we offer a certain discount up to a certain limit to cohorts of users or repeat users or first time users, etc. A lot of time we have been able to drive these discount or subsidize this discount from the brand itself. There is a certain discount that even we offer to acquire users at scale. Right now, the average discounting is pretty less. It's not affecting our margins. And what we have realized is as the users are coming back, less they care about where the cheaper is, but more they care about the overall service, the quality, and the promise of end-to-end guidance that we provide. Yes. So we don't believe that it will affect a lot our margins. In fact, once we grow up, we'll be able to negotiate better these prices and discounts from the brand itself. So we'll be able to pass nearly 100% of the cost to the brands. Uh, Dr. Apurva has, does it answer your questions, Vibhash? Shall I move to the next question?
Yeah, Subhash, feel free to ask. Yeah, he's replied yes. Dr. Apurva is asking, any big name from healthcare industry associated with you?
Yeah. So, I mean, in terms of strategic angels, we have a couple of really good folks. Rohit Kapoor is current CEO of Swiggy, but he's also board member of Max Healthcare, and he has spent years growing their whole insurance business. So that is one of the good functional knowledge in terms of subject that we get. Another couple of experts in this particular category is Dhruv. Dhruv has been a very close mentor and also an angel investor. He is the CEO of a company called Orange Health, one of the fastest growing end-to-end diagnostic platform out there. So these are few folks that we are continuously in touch with. There is a certain, so for example, WFC, or there are a couple of networks that we are part of, which help us connect to few strategic people whenever needed. So I'll move on to the next question. Kumar is asking, what is the share on each order that GetSupp will get from the brand? What does GMV map to operational revenue? Correct. So Kumar, here is the take rate. So take rate is essentially our operational revenue over the GMV. So if there is 91 lakh of GMV, nearly 35.5, 36% is our revenue over this. So that's how that metric look like. Is it safe for both veg and non-veg customer? Girish, we have more than 250 brands and 7,500 SKUs. We have a very comprehensive both breadth and depth of supplements across more than 100 plus categories out there. Our supply side has both veg and non-veg supplements out there. Also, we have ensured that it is very clearly mentioned upfront on the product page to help users understand that. In fact, this is also one of the most common questions that is asked to our Apeksha AI, that, what, is there a veg alternative, or is this project veg or not? So yes, this is an important question and we are handling it pretty comprehensively. Yes. So what are the biggest risks and challenges in this business model? Fairly important question, Virendra. As I mentioned, right, there are number of things that we'll need to do really well in order to scale meaningfully. One of those is getting the unit economics right within this next few months itself. So this is something that we, both Devin and I, in fact, the whole of the team is aligned towards, that while we are growing, we need to grow in a very sustainable manner. That means making sure that we are not burning on every order and building compounding on the whole repeat aspect of our user. So that's one. Second, one thing that we faced over the last few months was expanding across categories. But now our AI is much more matured. The conversations are flowing in across a lot of categories. So there is no cold start problem as such that exists. So we have been able to scale across multiple categories within health pretty seamlessly in last few months. We need to keep on doing that much more. Another thing which we foresee is when we launch private labels, how do we ensure that it is grown in a very sustainable and an organic manner and not being pushed to the user? So the idea is to maintain a very democratic nature of the platform while we are building very powerful private labels, which helps us improve our overall operational margins. So this is something that we believe would be few risks and challenges that would be coming in next few years.
So Rekha is asking, is the AI expert functioning at the moment? I am currently trying to use it, but have not received a response from it after the initial message. It has been 10 minutes and I'm still waiting.
So Rekha, we'll check into that. There's probably a deployment going on. Once it's done, I'll ping you separately.
Next question is by Ashok. Is this just the supplements or proper medicines and healthcare appliances like BP apparatus? And do you have app on Play Store?
So Ashok, right now, this is just supplement in the nutraceutical category. And even for the whole scope of this deck and the long-term plan, we are focused on this nutraceutical category as a whole. This is one of the fastest growing category, which already has a substantial base of $6 billion and is further expected to be $18 billion. So we are pretty confident that this market is deep enough to build a very valuable company. In terms of app on Play Store, yes, like we have very recently launched app, but that is something that is a work in progress, and we'll be building a lot more play would be around app in the next few months. You can expect it to be.
Cool. Before we move on to more questions in the chat, I think Shikhar has raised his hand. So yeah, we'll also allow few people to unmute and ask their queries. Feel free to raise your hand on Zoom, guys. So yeah, Shikhar, allowing you to unmute.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. Hi, Arpit. Hi, Devin. Thank you for the presentation. So I just have a few questions. So just like to understand what is your like revenue model. Just wanted to understand what is your business model from like customer side as well as from the brand side, and what are the various other revenue models which you intend to implement, and also I would like to understand that there are, for let's say, for example, there is a protein supplement. There can be multiple brands selling a protein supplement. So like, are you running any algorithms to prioritize any brand to get sold to the customers, or like how the brand selection works?
Yeah. So Shikhar, we don't generally have a weightage added to any brand specifically. What we actually do is when we start off and when we onboard a brand, right, we don't have user-generated data, we don't have feedback, we don't have result data to actually rank a product and come out and say that, hey, you know what, this product is working really well for a person with this age and this ailment and these kind of dietary preferences. So what we do is we add something called an expert bias. So as a part of our catalog onboarding, right, we have a team of in-house experts, and what they do is once the product, once we receive the brand catalog, they go through each of the products. They cross-check cross-check the nutrition, and they cross-check the ingredients with available research, and then they add metadata to that product. For example, they'll create a certain set of lifestyles and they'll map it to a certain set of concerns, and they'll add specific success scores to those individual products, and these are always on the positive side to give the brand a fighting chance with the already existing and popular brands. And then on, once the recommendations for that brand start going in, and once users start using it and we start getting feedback on WhatsApp itself, then the user scores and user generated scores actually start coming into play for recommendations for that specific brand.
Yep. Shikhar,
Okay.
I'll answer the monetization question or the business model. So currently we are monetizing the supply side of it. Right now, this 36% is comprised of two major aspects. One is core commission, which is, my share on every sale made. And this is around 29%. And then around 6.5% is ad monetization layer that we have started building from last 6 months or so. Down the line, we believe from a supply side, there are quite a few opportunities available to further monetize specific to this category. For example, lab testing at scale. For example, accurate, correct, factual content creation. Or from an operational angle, as and when we are moving to FBA kind of a model, there are certain aspects of operation that you can further monetize as a platform. So this is on the supply side. We also believe where private label, as we mentioned, will be very important. So that will also help us improve the take rates or our overall monetization drastically. Just imagine nearly 15% of this 220 million, we expect it to be via our private labels, which will have gross margins of nearly 80 to 85%. That's another major segment. Then I think over last journey, there are few clear-cut practical pathways that we have to improve monetization, which is a very solid partnership program. There are a number of opportunities available there. Even from a customer perspective or a demand side, we expect a lot of subscription kind of an offerings or more vertical offerings deeper to each and every concern will be part of the overall offering on getsupp.com. So yes, this is how we are thinking around monetization.
Okay, so let's say if I am purchasing some protein supplement from GetSupp, and it costs let's say 5,000 rupees. So around 29% will be your commission, right?
Yes, protein. Yeah, I mean,
I'm just taking an example. There can be many other supplements.
correct.
And then additional 6%. What did you mention? Sorry, if you can say.
So on an ideal level, if I'm getting 100 rupees of GMV right now, 36 rupees is my revenue. That 36 is actually split, is 29 is my blended commission, and nearly 6% is 6.5% is my ad. So I'm also charging few brands, or I'm working closely, collaborative with few brands to help them keep on growing on our platform. So they are
Right.
happy to give me over and above their core commission to keep on growing. That's
right. So
the whole.
that means if they pay you for the ad, so you will rank them up,
Right. So,
like Amazon and Flipkart do, correct?
No, so Shikhar, that's not how the organic ranking or the recommendation will work. I think Deven has already spoken about that. But what we are talking about is a certain visibility on the website or certain collaborative spends on our marketing budget that we are already doing. So that is how we are starting it. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Maybe I'll ask later. I'll allow others to ask. Thank you.
So Gaurav, I've already answered your question on chat. Mayank is asking any big competitor in the industry. So this is how the competition landscape, just a moment, look like. So on one side, there are horizontals such as Amazon and Flipkart. They do have this category, but as we discussed in detail, they are not even health context focused. That means none of the products also are being there. It's the safety is not handled really well, and the post purchase doesn't even exist. The second axis is that of e-pharmacies. So 1mg, NetMeds, Pharmacy are there. They do have this category. But we have spoken with a lot of folks over there, and we realize that nearly 92 to 95% of their overall sales is prescription driven. That means each and every function of these companies are like distribution, supply side, marketing is actually optimized for that prescription use case. And even from a user angle, I look up to these websites when I have a prescription at hand. That means I know what I want to buy and I'm looking for faster delivery, cheaper alternatives, etc. So that's why we believe that from a nutrition perspective or a nutraceutical or a concern-based perspective, all of these e-pharmacies fail miserably from an experience and a product solve point of view. So that's how the competition landscape is right now. Yeah.
Kumar is asking, what is the revenue share of one-time or short-term need supplement versus longer-term or chronic issue supplements, and how much is the current burn?
Right. So, this is a pretty subjective kind of a question. So, when we are talking about one-time or short-term need supplements, right? So, how we can identify that is there are certain categories. So, for example, like gut or skin and hair, where you start having supplements, and 3 to 4 months is when you start seeing some results. And then depending on your lifestyle or depending on the cause of it, you can actually maintain that, or you further need to move to a more broad level supplementation. So this is where I was mentioning that now we have identified how users move after their 3-4 months. And what we realized was that they move across categories and all. The revenue share, I can give you a more category level split, which it's not one time versus chronic kind of a split. It's more concern category level split that we follow. So that we started off with top 5 categories. These were skin and hair, gut health, stress and sleep, and daily mineral vitamins. These roughly contribute to nearly 46-48%. Then over last 6 months, we have added few more larger categories. These are joint health, women's health, chronic, as you mentioned, such as diabetes, weight management, sexual wellness, protein/gym/, performance. These are further contributing to nearly 42% right now. So that's how, and then there is a long tail of 10% of lot of sub concerns, smaller categories, product categories, or smaller concerns. So that's how the GMV level split and revenue level split is roughly. Our current burn is around 41-42 lakhs. This has actually, I just want to showcase, since July, when we have scaled from 34 to nearly 1 crore this month, our burn has actually reduced from 48 lakh per month to 41 lakh per month. This is where we feel that what we are building is actually now yielding us result. Our AI, our tech foundation has been built and is yielding us result in both acquisition and retention. Our fixed costs are not at all increasing while we have been scaling up at much more efficiencies. So, yeah. Suresh is asking around AI model.
Accuracy and
Yeah.
how it's getting trained.
Yeah. So in order to train this, we are using historical data which we had in the form of calls from our previous startup, which we have transcribed into chats and have categorized them and cleaned them across different health concern categories. This was during our time at MyDaily, which we are now using, and that's the data which we are now using at GetSupp as well. That is what has helped us solve the cold start problem which we had for our initial set of categories as well. And now we are in a position where we have thousands of chat data points across multiple health concerns as well. So one of the goals for the next 1 year is to actually launch models, individual models across separate parent categories such as skin, hair, daily wellness, chronic concerns as well, which right now we just have two models. One is doing the pre-purchase, the discovery part of it, and the second one is doing the post-purchase. The goal is to separate all of them. And the training and the data collection is happening based now. The data collection is happening based on user collected data, but initially it was based on historical call data, which was transcribed to chats. In order to measure accuracy, right? So we do not measure accuracy at a health concern level. We simply do it. We sort of pick random health concerns and we just simply do a test where we push questions to the chatbot, we measure the response, and then we internally decide whether the chat response rate has improved or not. So from that basis, the Q&A basis, the score would be around 97%, but this is not a standardized score. There is no standardized score as such which we can follow. So we have our own internal method of testing.
Yep. Girish, I'm assuming the timeline for ROI, are you asking from an investment perspective for this round? So
Investment is returns is what he's asking, exit perspective.
Yeah, understood. So Girish, I think this is a seed round for us. This is the last round where probably friend, family, or angels can kind of participate. We expect a proper return to these and pre-seed round when we hit Series B-ish, which we expect from around timeline of around, realistically speaking, timeline of around 2.5 to 4.5 years. So that's how we see it. In terms of the return, current valuation post money would be around $10 million. We expect at least 5 to 10x in terms of our Series B valuation. And this is me being very reasonable and ground to earth in terms of how market are. We can expect even better than that. So that's how we see the timelines for ROI. Sabrish is asking around why are brands willing to pay? This is a very interesting and important question. Now, one thing that we need to realize, right, as a platform, we need to solve for both the demand side and the supply side. In this category, supply side has three problems, which we realized from our own experience of our previous startup and while speaking with more than 300 brands out there. One is the core problem of visibility, which is essentially translating into the top line. Now, brands face a lot of problems on platforms such as Amazon and Flipkart to improve visibility. As a result, they either end up spending a lot of money on ads or get fake reviews or stuff a lot of false and incorrect information in forms of SEO stuff, keywords, etc. Now it is very hard to get on first, second page on any other on these kind of platform. As a result, they really faced a lot of problems in scaling, one for their core categories and then across other ancillary categories that they're launching. At GetSupp, we solve this pretty well, right? Discovery is very core to our business. We have a very democratic discovery. We help users understand the concern and then recommend them in the right manner. If you have good, our mappings, internal mappings are way more accurate than any other kind of a platform. This brands see whenever a product portfolio is good, brands start seeing their sale or exposure or visibility or sales for start getting for few of the categories on their own over a period of time, and that's what makes sure they're happy about it. The second problem that the brands face is around safety and whole fake product. So we have been on that side and we realize that, whenever there is a decent trend out there, for example, biotin or collagen, there would be 100 more brands with the same kind of a formulations because there is no IP on formulation and the third party manufacturing is pretty easy. They kind of end up replicating a lot of similar products, which are subpar in terms of quality and whole safety standards. As a result of which, this category kind of becomes much more crowded and their market share keeps on reducing. So this is one big problem that we come up as a curated. We take a lot of effort in making sure that we are safe and accurate. So that's how we solve that second problem. The third problem is that of retention. Just imagine from a brand perspective, they can't do anything or platform is not doing anything to make sure that the user is using it correctly. And then as a result, they're moving closer to their health goals and buying it again. We do that. We provide post-purchase consultation, and that is core to our business, which helps the brand tremendous amount of retention from month 1, month 2 onwards, which they see it and then reward it in form of better commissions to us. So that's how we have been able to negotiate and get brands and get to a higher take rate than other platforms. Ashok, how can you become a cutter? Please go to getsupp.com. Any kind of supplement that you're looking for, you can search it. You can go via chatbot. You can go use the whole concern-driven prompt that we have built to buy and start using it.
Kumar is saying, when you say product X works for somebody of specific age and issue, what does it mean? How do you determine it is working? Is it based purely on the feedback received from the buyer?
Sorry, what was the question?
When you say product X works for somebody of specific age and issue, what does it mean? And how do you determine it is working? Is it based purely on the feedback received from the buyer?
Yeah, so first it's purely based on the feedback received by the buyer. Unless the product is very recently been hosted on the platform, then it's the expert bias. Otherwise, is the user introduced feedback system. So the way we collect feedback is we send weekly objective messages to the user to identify if the product has worked for the user mentioned health concern or not. And depending on the feedback, we attach a weightage to the particular product. So to take you through the flow, right, there are two parts to this. The first is we have the user's phone number with us. So when we are chatting before the purchase with the user, right, and we are